What an absolutely beautiful day it is here on the banks of the Fraser River. Not too many more of these days left this year, so I think it's the perfect day for a story. They say that everyone is born with two lives, and the second one begins when you realize you only have one. For me, that realization came 7 years ago when I went from being a heavy equipment operator at a lumber mill in my little hometown of Williams Lake to a video producer for Princess Cruise Line. With that job, I spent 3 years living on cruise ships, traveling all around the world, filming and absorbing as much as I possibly could. I ended up working in 54 countries. I met some of my favorite people in the whole world, and my final contract even included a world cruise. We started in Japan, ended 3 months later back in Japan after a complete circumnavigation of the globe. And being a blue-collar, maybe even slightly redneck kid from a remote little mountain town in British Columbia, that period of time in my life fundamentally changed me as a human. And most importantly, it laid down the foundation to what I'm doing today. Now, I'm certainly not the only one that got thrown a curveball with COVID, but the worldwide lockdown that came with the coronavirus pandemic also put the entire cruise industry on hold, and that dream job of mine disappeared practically overnight, leaving me a little bit lost with what direction I could go with my life. The only thing I knew for sure is I was not going back to the mill. Luckily, I had the motorhome because that's where I lived in between cruise contracts. So I came up with a plan that I thought at least had potential. I started a business and registered it to be able to make money in a variety of different ways: YouTube, freelance video, or small engine repair. And I did all of these things simultaneously, but the end goal was the YouTube channel.
Yo! That's it. Nothing but rock crab here.
I wanted to make professionally produced travel content, similar to what I made for Princess Cruise Line, documentary style with a focus on location and people, but with destination adventure, I wanted to do it outside of the conventional tourist realm. Well, fast forward 4 years, several hundred videos, and a complete rig build later, I am proud to say that destination adventure is very much full-time business for me and showing great potential for the future. But that complete 7-year lifespan bringing us up to today, I have been, as far as the government is concerned, homeless, which is fine. I love to travel, I love the lifestyle, and I plan on doing it for many years to come. But this whole lifestyle is not actually possible without a physical address. I need to have a physical home address to obtain and maintain my driver's license, to get my fishing licenses, and even to register my own business. And at 33 years old, I have worked way too hard to still be using my parents' address. More and more people are getting into digital business and nomadic lifestyles, so our government is certainly a little bit behind on some of these policies. Nevertheless, they are rules that I have to follow. So for the past 2 years, I've been quietly planning a way that I can try and bring all of this together so that my business can be operated by the books, in my name, with my own address, and get me a home base, somewhere that I can live in the off-season. When the rig is in the shop in pieces with no water or usable bathroom and shower, and it's minus 40 outside, I still have somewhere to live that's warm and comfortable. The ultimate goal is, of course, to make this lifestyle feasible long term, which brings us to this winter's big plan. We are building a self-contained, self-sufficient, off-grid home base right here overlooking the beautiful Fraser River. Similar to the rig build, this is all going to be done with what I can afford cash and what I can do myself. So it's going to be budget friendly. But after 4 years of living full-time off-grid and building the rig, I have a great understanding of how these systems work, and I think I have a really good plan on how to make this practical, livable, and of course, comfortable. I am very proud and very excited to officially welcome you all to Lot 32, the Build Series. Well, first and foremost, let me take you for a little tour of the property, tell you a little bit about it, and how I ended up with it. This may very well be Canada's most janky little piece of property that was ever purchased by somebody. It is 6,100 square feet. I believe that comes to 0.13 of an acre, something like that. I can't quite remember. My property line goes straight along the bank here with a beautiful view both down and up the Fraser River. One of the main reasons that I wanted to purchase it. From this corner, it comes up to somewhere in here. Haven't found that property marker yet. From here, it goes way over there. Let's go. So here is my other property corner. You can see just the roof of the home up there. Now, with this being such a long, awkward piece of land, it comes with limitations, and that factored into the purchase price for me. It's too close to both the Fraser River and the public access road, so I can't have a well or a septic system. I have workarounds around both of these things. As you can see, there's already a couple of structures and quite a collection of stuff sitting out here, because this is actually the failed dream project of somebody else. This was supposed to be a little off-grid dream home sitting out here, but like many of us know, life happens, things get in the way, and unfortunately this was walked away from and has spent the last 20 plus years as a dumping ground, which is another factor into the purchase price. Same as the rig build project, I want to be completely transparent about how much this is costing me and how I'm putting it all together, because I think this could be a pretty feasible project for your average person. But the opportunity to purchase this came to me right when I finished building the rig, but the last 2 years I've been quietly scheming on how I'm going to put all of this together without knowing what was behind that door or the condition of the structure itself. Of course, demolishing and starting from scratch was an option, but ultimately I wanted to utilize the existing structure, and it would have had to get cleaned out even if we were demolishing it. Emmy is back in Japan right now, but she was a huge driving force getting the ball rolling on this project, especially the cleanup. This building was filled floor to ceiling, both stories, with absolute filth. This was a horrendous project to undertake, and I actually don't think I could have done it without her. We're under major crunch time right now to get this place cleaned up and sealed up before the snow is here. So phase 1, the cleanup. Oh, there's a dustpan here the whole time. Well, that gets the downstairs basically cleaned out. And now for the part I've really been dreading, upstairs. Oh, it's bad. It's real bad.
I'm sure they're gonna get sick watching that.
Maybe. They just might. Okay.
Smell that from
Yep.
here?
There it goes.
It's almost a shame getting rid of this. This must be every National Geographic for decades. Today's the big progress day. The bin has arrived. We have a ton of garbage to throw away. We went through 50 of these industrial big bags and then had to go get more. Time to start loading them. There's an old coin. We found a Roman coin from 2,000 years ago. Listen, I realize there's gonna be people that think I am crazy for live trapping this pack rat, but here's the thing. This little cabin of mine, this is like generational wealth in the pack rat population. This place goes down in the history books. 20-something years of no predators in the summertime, unlimited warmth in the wintertime, and I've come and just ripped it away. So I am going to live trap this pack rat. Maybe let it go at the neighbor's place or something, I don't know quite yet. For the sake of demonstration, I'm just gonna reach through and trip the trigger, going for the apple. Oh, I've got her set like a hair trigger.
If you're curious what keeps the pack rat from just opening this and escaping, when it latches shut, that bar goes down and seals it.
So here's where we're at. The filth, at least within the building, has been dealt with. The building itself is down to the framing. The pack rat situation is well underway of being taken care of. But before we can officially start building, we need some building supplies. We're heading to Chilliwack, to a store called Chilliwack New and Used. They have a huge selection of both new and used building supplies. So we're going to pick up a handful of windows and a door. The only issue, I kind of live in the middle of nowhere, so it's a 5-hour drive each way. Pretty basic game plan. I really want to open things up on that top floor. Our available space is 5 feet high, 16 feet long. I'm looking for 3 4-foot by 4-foot windows, I'm hoping, or something similar. Look at how rad this thing is. Didn't really realize just how big 4-foot by 4-foot is. Slight bit of a different plan from the original, but I think I found something that's gonna work and be pretty cool. Here's this 5-foot by 3-foot picture window. It's 250 bucks. And then I'm thinking 2 of these 3-foot by 3-foot openable windows, 1 on each side. Should look good. Let lots of air through there. Let's go take a look at some doors. Well, there's a huge selection of doors here, and this is just for the water storage compartment, so size does not really matter. The only difference I'm really seeing is that shed has A grade doors, this shed has B grade. For the extra 70 bucks, probably should be looking at an A grade. All right, everything's paid for. Time to load up the mini truck for her first haul. The overall price came to $1,243, which means that the window was half price and everything else was free. But the help here alone is worth the price. This guy's been a huge help, and he's gonna help me load everything up, which is great because it's got to make it all the way back to Williams Lake, and the door is going on the boat rack of the canopy. Yeah. Yeah, you bet. I really appreciate the help. Thank you. Well, there you have it. Everything's strapped down, and I'm feeling surprisingly confident about that door making it all the way back to Williams Lake. All in all, feeling great about the purchases. Made her back safe and sound. Hopefully our glass is okay. Everything's looking good. Here's that big beauty. Happy she survived. Not one piece of broken glass. Talk about a success story.
when I was just leaving Chilliwack, I decided to turn around and purchase one more window. This one right here, because I certainly don't ever plan on putting an air conditioner in here, so the more airflow we have, the better. This opens, it needs serious cleaning. The new door is coming with a window, but I don't believe that it opens, so I wanted this one to open. A lot of parts of this build are uncharted territory for me, so I'm happy to say I'm sourcing out professional help. And I got some people helping with the build too, that's pretty cool. But before we can get rolling on it, there's a couple hurdles we gotta jump through. Let me show you. Problem number one, this pit, which we have called the Bry pit for reasons I'm not gonna say publicly, but it does have to get, first of all, cleaned out and then filled, and then somewhat of a driveway so that we can get trucks in here. So tomorrow bright and early, gravel's coming. I got 2 tri-drive loads of pit run, which should be more than enough to fill in the Bry pit and level out some kind of a driveway so we can get trucks down here. My brother-in-law has a mini hoe business. He's coming to do some hoeing. Was the right decision. That's like 3 hours of moving garbage by hand done in 5 minutes with a machine. But the filth that was concealed on this property is crazy. I ordered 2 of the largest loads of gravel I could get without having to bring a pup, because I actually need a lot of fill and material here on the property. And I thought these were basically just gonna do the driveway in the Bry pit, but Andrew's landscaping this whole shelf. And we're actually gonna be able to pretty much fill the Bry pit just off of dirt from the property here. And then I have all of that gravel to do other things. I'm guessing this was gonna be a root cellar. Still not entirely sure, but there's a massive hole going down there. I gotta rip all those tires out, so I need a lot of material to fill that. And gravel is not cheap. It's $1,000 for those 2 loads over there, delivered. So this is great news. And look at how nice it's gonna look here. Andrew is in fact my brother-in-law, which is why he was nice enough to come out here and do this job after putting in a full day's work. But this landscaping and saving that gravel, it's because he's one of those guys that just does the job the way it should be done. You know, I thought it was pretty cool just owning land, but land that has been landscaped. Almost expecting to turn around and see the Hollywood sign over there. Well, we ended up working well after the sun went down, but look at this absolute masterpiece. It's a work of art, really. My first ever driveway. And today I get to try it. We're taking the Danger Ranger into town. We're gonna go get some water tanks. These tanks are gonna work out pretty good, I think. They were listed on Facebook Marketplace about 2 hours from here. Lucky for me, the guy's doing some work or something around Williams Lake, so he's able to deliver them. The problem is I'm purchasing 2, only 1 will fit in the truck, and he wants to meet right downtown, so we're gonna have to stash one.
The little Danger Ranger's getting more dangerous by the minute here. Can you believe 2 of these fit in the box? Tell you a little something about that right there. That's not going anywhere. You know what? I'm pretty proud of that. Pretty monumental moment about to happen here. Trying out my very own driveway for the very first time. Oh, it feels good. Oh, that's nice. It's smoother than I thought. I'm all the way in. With the completion of the cleanup and the driveway, as well the arrival of doors, windows, and water tanks, we're officially at the point where we can start rolling on the build side of this project. So let's talk about some stats and figures, but let's first talk about this building. This is built using balloon style construction, meaning that the framework goes from the floor all the way up to the roof, as opposed to platform style where you see in modern construction. This building is built from dry belt fir that was actually milled on my father's Alaska mill. And this whole structure was built out of 1 log. I actually just learned this. And I'm excited to say that it is rock solid. There's no rot, there's no mold, there's no bug infestation. So we are utilizing the existing structure, which is a big win for me. So let's talk about some figures. The property itself was $10,000 as is, which is crazy cheap for land these days, but being out of town and with all of the issues that this came with drove the price way down. Of course, there were lawyer fees for the transfer, another $1,400 on top. I'm going to put all of the supplies and sundries in one category at the bottom. So for as far as the cleanup, our big expense was that bin. That was a 30-yard bin delivered out here and then picked up full, was $675. And we filled that 30-yard bin right to the top. They actually had to tarp it when they took it. Doors and windows, $1,586. The gravel was $1,000, and thankfully I didn't have to pay for the equipment because it was my brother-in-law, but big thank you to Druser Contracting for coming out and doing that. If you're in the Caribou Chilcotin and you need some work done, I'll have that information linked in the description below. The water tanks were $350. Supplies and essentials, $650, bringing us to a grand total of $15,661. I think these early videos will be the bulk of our expenses just because so much has to happen in such a short period of time. Once this is sealed up with a wood stove in here, I can kind of slow things down and focus a little bit more on the beauty and the comfort end of things. But this is an incredibly exciting chapter in my life and the YouTube channel, and I'm super thankful to already have support on this build and to have such an amazing audience here on Destination Adventure. We have been through so much already together, and I am truly honored to have you along for this next exciting chapter of my life. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Destination Adventure, everybody, and welcome to Lot 32, the build series.
Running from the wind, I can feel the darkness creeping in. I've been waiting on the day I could send my worries on their way. Your love to me is like honey on my tongue. You soothe my woes when the day is done. You already know. You